bless you. Mighty I am, so grateful I found you. I'll raise up my hands, beloved I am. Beloved I am, I love you, I bless you. Mighty I am, so grateful I found you. Fill me overflowing, beloved I am. Transcending all shadows, through you I.
The Masters of Wisdom speak on the active presence of God within you. The Bridge to Freedom Journal, November 1952. Ascended Master Morya. The knowledge that the active presence of God is within the physical heart of the individual is the very first step toward a union of the outer consciousness with this presence in an actual, practical, and conscious partnership, whereby the individual begins to externalize from within himself the nature, qualities, and powers of that presence, through the consciously drawn radiation of his own life. The religious thought which for centuries has externalized and set apart the presence of God has created the limited personal selves with whom we deal today. One of the primary services of the Great White Brotherhood is to acquaint the outer mind with the truth that the presence of God within is an actuality. This God presence is the speaker, whose every activity is announced to the individual in the words, I am. Ascended Master Kuthumi. When the intellectual consciousness accepts the presence of God within the very life that beats the heart, the student is then ready to step forth upon the spiritual path. The spiritual beings who form the watchers of the expanding light in the hearts of men then apply to the Lord Maitreya or myself for a teacher for such a life stream. This teacher provides ways and means by which the student is encouraged to contact this presence, and through the happy experience which such a contact brings, endeavors to create and sustain an active connection between the outer self and the God intelligence which sustains the physical form. If the teacher at any time deviates from the relentless task of driving the individual's consciousness back again and again into association with a reliance upon this inner presence, or if the teacher causes the student to lean upon a source outside of himself, such a teacher has failed in a large degree. All spiritual growth is a process of realizing and becoming the fullness of this inner presence. Ascended Master Venetian. The efficacy of meditation and contemplation lies within the actual awareness of the presence of God within the individual life stream. Be still and know that I am God is truly an injunction from on high. An individual who desires to rise out of limitation, sickness, and disease of every kind must become aware of and gain confidence in the God power which is the life by which the body is motivated, the mind illumined, and the spiritual senses stirred into the hunger and thirst after righteousness which stimulates the spiritual search for fulfillment. Until the student has learned to turn the thought currents in toward his presence, the teacher must provide a positive course of contemplation to stimulate the mental currents of the aspirant. Then, through silently invoking the God self within the student, the teacher allows that self to become the infallible guide, the healing power, the peace-commanding presence, the God-directing intelligence through the outer self. Such a one no longer finds himself absolutely dependent upon an externalized instructor, but waxes strong in spiritual knowledge, discrimination, and godly powers within himself. Ascended Master Serapis Bey. In our activity at Luxor, we deal with individuals who have signified to the cosmic law that they are desirous of entering into the flame of their own divinity, and through the process of transmutation, attaining the self-conscious ascension out of the appearance world. Our discipline follows that of life itself. We provide every opportunity by which the individual may cultivate a conscious realization of the God presence, and then, in a growing awareness, release the God powers and nature which assimilate and transmute the discordant tendencies of the outer self. The Luxor Brotherhood is, like the karma of the outer world, an intelligent power which dives the consciousness back toward its own creative center of being, and those who become active members of this brotherhood are relentless in their activity, refusing to allow the outer self of the neophyte to cling to any outer form, teacher, or solace. Few men can stand the rigorous but necessary discipline of this retreat, but those who persist in their endeavors become the master presence in one lifetime, as compared to those who face the same discipline from the impersonal karmic law of retribution, requiring centuries to become imbued with the knowledge of the nothingness of the world without and the all-power of the God presence within. Ascended Master Hilarion. Even in the world of science and medicine, there comes a moment when everything human has been done, and the life intelligence must await the will of God. How many of our good doctors and nurses will attest to the fact that the gifts of science but provide the bridge over which the unseen power of the universal God flows to relieve a crisis, or to stir the will to live within the heartbeat of a patient? Thus, the greatest intelligences of the finite world must await the presence of God in action for accomplishment to follow the preparation for that activity which they have set into motion. Ascended Master Jesus. When I repeatedly referred to the Father within as the power that accomplished all the seemingly miraculous manifestations during my ministry, I meant to point man to the way by which he too might partake of the natural God powers and qualities that are within his own life. Every individual must, sooner or later, make contact with the God presence that is his own heartbeat. To every man, this mystic experience is requisite before he can become a representative of the Father through to his fellow man. To find God within another is a cause for rejoicing in the unfoldment of that one's own God plan, but to find God within oneself is the purpose for incarnation and the only way home again into the natural estate of blessedness, peace, and power, which such God-awareness brings. Ascended Master Saint Germain. The great God presence is individualized through the personalities which are presently sustained by life. The awareness of this master presence within brings peace and comfort to the individual, and then active contemplation of this presence causes it to increase in focused power and authority through an individual and to project its pattern, its powers, and perfection into the physical appearance world through the outer self. For the individual to visualize his God presence as outside of himself is again to separate himself in feeling from the power that is really within his own heartbeat. When the individual becomes aware of the God presence within, the externalized presence then stands radiant as the manifest Christos and is actually projected from within the consciousness of the awakened one.
Beloved I am, in all reverence and humbleness, I acknowledge and accept that you are my great God presence. It abides within my heart and above me. And I honor this presence above and within everyone on earth. I love you, I bless you, and I thank you for this gift of life, and for all the protection, and for all the glory that is yet to come. Beloved I am, I offer myself up as an empty crystal cup. Fill me overflowing with your love and light, your joy and happiness, your peace and harmony, your purity and perfection, and with your abundance and supply of all you know that I require to go forth in service to the light, that I may give unto others as you give unto me, and I am so grateful. bless you. Mighty I am, so grateful I found you. I'll raise up my hands, beloved I am. Beloved I am, I love you, I bless you. Mighty I am, so grateful I found you. Fill me overflowing, beloved I am. Transcending all shadows, through you I can. I love you, I thank you, beloved I am. Beloved I am, I love you, I bless you. Mighty I am, so grateful I found you. I'll raise up my hands, beloved I am. Beloved I am, I love you, I bless you. Mighty I am, so grateful I found you. Fill me overflowing, beloved